All right, guys, so we have been talking a lot about the experience of pioneers moving out west, and many of you have commented on, like, oh, I don't think I'd be able to do that. And so it kind of got me wondering, what would that experience look like today? And I have a couple books this week that I think might just give us a glimpse at what that pioneer experience might look like, but in modern times. So my first book today is called Alone, and this is a relatively new book. What's the worst you could imagine? When 12-year-old Maddie schemes for a secret sleepover with her two best friends goes awry, she ends up waking up to a nightmare. She's utterly alone, left behind in a town that has been mysteriously evacuated and abandoned. With no one to rely on, no power, and no working phone lines or internet access, Maddie must somehow survive on her own. Her only companions are a Rottweiler named George and all the books she can read. As the months pass, she escapes natural disasters, looters, and wild animals. But the crushing loneliness she faces is a constant companion. Can Maddie's will to survive carry her through the most frightening experience of her life? Now, it looks pretty thick, but it's structured in poem form, so just like Home of the Brave is. And so those books just tend to be pretty quick to read despite having all of the pages. The sound of a human voice. There's no sound like that in all the world. Scott O'Dell, Island of the Blue Dolphins. This is not adolescent hyperbole. This is my reality. Alone in this place where I've been surviving on my own for over 3 years. With no one but a big, smelly Rottweiler who farts and hogs the covers. You might think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I'm not being dramatic, like my grandmother might say. I figured by the time I was a teenager, I'd be thinking about getting my driver's permit, going to dances, playing varsity soccer. But instead, I'm thinking about where to find food and fuel and water, and whether to use Mountain Dew to force flush the toilet or to drink. Even though it's the color of radioactive urine, and it's probably toxic when ingested over long periods of time. Better to be radioactive or dehydrated? These are the questions that plague my daily experience, at least for now. At least until my parents come back. So, 3 years. Do you think you could live on your own for 3 years? Check it out.